So guys, we're going to make a beautiful sour cranberry Bakewell tart with gorgeous St. Clement's icing. It's going to be so good. And I'm going to be bigging up my beautiful Bakeware range. So first up, let's make the pastry. Super simple, super quick. So we're going to go in with 250 grams of plain flour. Then I'm going to sift in 100 grams of icing sugar. Then we go in with 125 grams of nice non-salted butter, 1 egg, and the zest of 1 orange. Add a little pinch of salt, like that. Add a tiny swig of milk, and we are done. I'll wrap this up, put it in the fridge, and let it rest for about an hour. Here's one I did earlier, so I'm just going to show you how to roll it out. Push down on our pastry like that, just to kind of take the thickness out a little bit. Then we're going to use our rolling pin and just a little flour for dusting. Move it around, catching a little bit more of that flour. Get your mold and kind of measure it up. And then this part is really simple. We take our rolling pin, we roll the pastry back up on the rolling pin and just unwind it on top and just push it in like so. Once you've done that, just get your trusty rolling pin and roll it across like that, and it does all the hard work for you. You can save these little bits. You can just make some little jam tarts or something like that. I do like to just get a fork and just make little holes. This stops steam gathering when it bakes and kind of pushing up the base so it's uneven. So once you've done that, you can cover it in cling film and you can put it in the freezer for weeks, months, sitting there ready and raring to go, and you can cook it from frozen. I want to get it in the oven now, so I'm going to bake it blind. To do that, you can use a little bit of greaseproof paper. Just fold it in half, and like that. And like that. Put the tip in the middle, have a little measure up, have a bit extra. Scrumple it all up, that just makes it a little softer, and then in we go. Next little gadget, baking beans. So what I need to do is just push these balls to the edge. We don't want this pastry to shrink, and we don't want the edges to kind of shrink down. And then I'm going to put this in the oven and bake it blind for about 15 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit. So the pastry's cooking beautifully in the oven. Let's make a quick frangipane. Now, first up, 100 grams each of the walnuts and the hazelnuts. So that comes out now, and then we're going to kind of go back to 250 grams of butter, 250 grams of golden caster sugar, the zest of 1 lemon and orange. And then what I'm going to do is add 60 grams of plain flour, and then I'm going to put the mixer on and one by one add 3 lovely eggs. Let's just add the nuts in. This is going to make it more rustic, but it's going to give it amazing flavour. Beautiful. Let's have a quick look at our pastry here. So now I just want to remove these baking beans. Nice. So what we've got here is cooked pastry, but it's not cooked on the bottom, okay? So we're literally going to flash this for a couple of minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out this pastry shell now. It's had just a minute or two. Over here, I've got some lovely sour cranberries. I want to add about 3/4 in, put the jam on the bottom, then use the spatula to get that lovely walnut and hazelnut frangipane on top. Look at that, beautiful. Oh, it smells amazing, guys. So I'm going to take the last of that jam and just kind of ripple that about. So back in the oven we go, still at 180 degrees Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit, and that's going to cook for about 40 to 45 minutes. So the tart is out, it's just cooling down a little bit. Of course you can have it hot. I want to show you a little pimp that I love, okay? We're going to use orange juice and lemon juice, the classic flavours of the St. Clement's drink, and I'm just going to add a little bit to a couple of tablespoons of icing sugar. You want it to be gooey and thick. So let's cut the tart. It's probably a nice time to introduce this fantastic little cake cutter, serrated edge, and also it's the right size. It's good for portion control. You can measure your portion there. Absolutely delicious. I'll finish it with a little bit of that St. Clement's. So there you go, guys. Beautiful sour cranberry Bakewell tart with St. Clement's drizzle. Lovely. If you want more information about my lovely bakeware set, then hit the I box up there. And if you want the recipe, it's in the information box below. Take care.